Hello, everybody. Just on my way from work to the community college to do my time there, and thought about a story I wanted to tell you. I'm going to take us back from Minnesota back to Idaho when I was a younger kid than I was in Minnesota. And this is a story. I went to summer camp a couple of years in a row with the church that we went to was part of a bigger organization, and this organization owned a camp, and it was way up in the mountains. I mean, I don't really know. I can't remember. I know we went on a bus, and I think it may have been a 2 or 3 hour ride each way. Camp was for a week, and the camp itself was really neat. I mean, it was up in the mountains, a dirt road to get to it. There were cabins for people to stay in, and the cabins were made out, if I remember correctly, they were made out of logs. They had bunks in them, and I would say that each place maybe had 4 or 5 bunks, so there'd be bunk beds, so there would be 8 or 10 people, upper bunk and a lower bunk, and you would go there and you'd stay for a week. You'd have various activities that you would do, from crafts to, of course, you had, it was a church thing, so they had Bible study every day and every night. They had a campfire, and people would sing songs, and there probably was a little lesson around the campfire. You would eat breakfast and lunch and dinner, and part of the thing was that you had KP duty, which is kitchen patrol, so everybody would have, sometime during the week would have to help with cleaning up and dishes and that sort of thing. Well, anyway, there was a pool that we would walk to, and I want to say it was every day during the camp if the weather was nice, and then we would swim in the afternoon. And I don't know how far away this was. Let's just say, for the sake of this, that it was maybe a mile away. And we would walk from the camp, and then there was a mountain road, and so we'd walk up this road, gravel road, and then we would turn and go a little bit further up another road, and then there was the pool. And so one day, and there was now that I'm thinking about this story, there was also like a little store that you could buy snacks and stuff, like a little convenience store, I guess, as part of the pool. So one day, I believe it was because our counselor, the guy who was sort of in charge of us, that we were going to have a surprise birthday for this guy, because it was his birthday, we found out. And so my friend Mark Reeves and Mark and I had grown up. We had known each other probably since we were in the 3rd or 4th grade, and we were fairly good friends. And he had gone to this camp as well. So we bought some things for this party. It might have been chips. It might have been candy. Again, I don't really remember. But so we had this idea that we were going to take a shortcut back to the camp and get back before everyone else, I guess, for this party or whatever. I really don't know why we thought the shortcut was a good idea. And also, looking back on it now and thinking about this trail, this shortcut, quote, I'm going to put quotes around shortcut, it seemed like a really kind of ill thought out idea. And as you probably know, a lot of my stories begin or end with a really badly thought idea. So we had this idea. So there was this trail. Okay, so as I told you, to get back from the pool, we would walk down one road, turn right on another road, and walk quite a ways, and then you'd turn right again and be at the camp. But there was what appeared to be a trail before you got to the road that led back to the camp. Oh, another thing that I should say too, as I tell this and I'm thinking about it, there was a river, or let's call it a mountain stream, that was probably 10 or 15 feet across, and it was moving pretty fast. I mean, it was a white water stream that came down through the mountains, and this trail kind of went beside this stream. However, the trail itself was a good 20 or 30 feet above the stream. But again, we thought that this was a shortcut. But thinking about it now, I realize it really wasn't a shortcut, because both the road and the trail paralleled the stream. So whatever we would have saved would have maybe been a few hundred feet, because we could turn right to head back to the camp, maybe 100 or 200 feet before the road that would take us back to camp. But anyway, so we sort of hang back, and we're at the back of the group, and we kind of peel off and head up this trail, thinking that we're going to get back before everybody else. Again, just stupid stuff that little boys do. So we're heading down this trail, and again, thinking about it now as an adult, I realized that probably what that says too is that the people who were in charge of us going to the pool didn't do a really good job as adults. But again, you don't think about that as a kid, and I don't know that I thought about that until now, looking back on it as an old man, realizing that they had not supervised us very well. Anyway, so we started on this trail thinking that we've got this all figured out, and we're walking along the trail, and then the trail begins to, and keep in mind, this trail is on the side of a hill, and somebody has cut out a flat place to walk for this trail, and the trail itself begins to peter out. I mean, it begins to get to where there's not a trail anymore. And so we get to this point where there's no longer a trail there. And Mark, and again, we were committed to this, so Mark Reeves keeps going, and I keep going with him, and then he starts to slide down this hill. I'm not kidding you. He is at a place where, like, he can't, this is a steep enough hill that he starts sliding down it, and it's not grass, it's not covered in grass, it's covered in sand and gravel. I don't think there was even any sagebrush on it. And so he's sliding down this hill, and it's scary. Thinking back on it now, I was scared, he was scared, and it looked like he might just slide right into this fast-running whitewater mountain stream. Now, fortunately, when he gets to the bottom and right on the edge of the stream, he stops sliding. And so that was a good thing. But the things that he or we had bought to take to this party fell in the water. They're floating away, and he is, so he's down at the bottom of this thing. I don't know what I can do to help him, because I can't go down there. Now, fortunately, he's not hurt or anything. I think his hands got scraped up, but so he kind of picks his way back along the stream to where he can climb back up the hill to where the trail is. And I know we were both shaken up by this. I mean, I know we were shaken up on this. And I remember, I should probably tell you, I was probably 10 or 11 years old, so still a kid. I mean, not even a teenager yet. But I remember talking to him and trying to keep him calm, and he was trying to stay calm. And I think we were both trying not to cry. And not to mention, of course, now we're going to be in trouble, because we have to go back the way we came and then still walk back to the camp, which means, of course, we're going to get back later than everybody else. So, but anyway, he works his way back up the hill. We walk back down the trail. We walk back down the road. And again, of course, everybody's gone. Now it's just us out in the woods late in the afternoon, and we know that we're going to get in trouble when we get back to the camp. And but again, I think we were both glad that he hadn't gotten hurt. And God, looking back on it now, I think that, again, as an adult, glad he didn't fall into that stream and end up drowned or something. I mean, this was some serious stuff. And again, not to mention, now you have these two 10-year-old kids, out in the mountains by themselves on a road, and who knows what could have happened. But again, stupid things that little boys do. And so anyway, so we got back to the camp, and yes, we did get in trouble. We got a stern talking to, and and I forget that there was some sort of punishment. I think we had to, I don't know what it was, but we were in trouble. And again, when I was thinking about telling this story, it occurred to me that I'd be willing to bet that the counselors who were in charge of us, they probably got in trouble too. Because again, when you're out with a bunch of, third, fourth, and fifth graders in the mountains, you don't just let them go wandering off by themselves. But again, I'd never really thought about it in that light until I started thinking about telling this story. So anyway, Mark Reeves was okay. I was okay. The camp was okay, and that's it for that story for that year. And it was such that that I think I went back to camp the following year. Mark didn't, but I think I did. And I will tell you the truth, again, thinking about this now, I don't know that we ever, that our parents were ever told this, and they probably should have been. But again, I'm pretty sure, my guess is the people at the camp were afraid that they were going to get in trouble too, again, because of fairly serious lapse in control and security there. But anyway, okay, there's my story for today. Love you. See ya.